Hello there, welcome back to another episode of Rule the Waves 2 as Great Britain. The year is 1911, and tensions are very low right now. There's not a whole lot going on. So let's take a quick evaluation and see what all has been happening. We currently have a large number of ships undergoing refits. We've got some more destroyers, some fantastic Stour-class destroyers under construction. A few more cruisers, actual modern light cruisers, instead of the older protected cruiser design. So that'll be very nice to have some modern cruisers out. And then we are currently modernizing the Comus class foreign station ships. So those are currently chugging through refits, and that is soaking up a large part of our budget right now. We also have construction. We have currently 6 major capital ships, battleships, and battle cruisers under construction, but 2 of them are about to come out, and that should free up most of our monthly budget so we can start working on other projects. And that'll be very good. We've got nice large docks. We've got a few submarines about to finish up as well, so that's fantastic. And let's review what researches we've just got. Not a whole lot of special stuff. We just got some lighter than air research. Ooh. And that is interesting. So I'm going to leave that on medium for right now, at least until we unlock the initial airship bases, because having the reconnaissance from airships is always helpful. But after that, I can turn that back down to low. Let's see. Other than that, we are continuing to push fire control development. It's getting about the time for our next major development in fire control, I think. So hopefully we'll be unlocking director fire soon. And hopefully we'll also be getting triple turrets and other minor improvements. We do need to start working on torpedo technology, though, because we have definitely fallen far behind on that particular category. So we're going to crank that up to high. And we can drop our, let's see, what can we drop down? Actually, there's not a whole lot that we can drop down right now, because we need all of the stuff that's on high right now, and we need it pretty badly. So I guess I'm going to have to drop that lighter than air research down to low. Not a whole lot else we can do about that. Alright, now that is set, it's time to move on. So we've got this new formidable class dreadnought, and I'm going to put that directly into reserve so we can save a little bit of budget. Alright, and we just finished a Comus class as well, finished the refit for that, so we're going to put that on foreign station. And we'll drag another older Comus class in for refit. And I think that'll be it for now. Oh, wait. Yep, that'll be good. So on to our next turn. So we finished a battle cruiser and a dreadnought. Outstanding. And shipyard experience with the class has shortened construction time on 2 different ships. And equipment delays have delayed the construction of another ship, so overall it's a wash. Alright, so we were hoping for a conflict with Russia, but not a whole lot has happened there. So I will try to take whatever provocations I can against Russia, but until then, not a whole lot to do. So we just finished 2 more ships, so I'm going to drop both of those into reserve fleet. Save the budget, no need to get them a chance to work up. They will slowly come up to fair quality over time, and there's plenty of time for them to actually work up in reserve. Alright, France is interested in buying some new machinery, so by all means, if they want to pay for my shipbuilding oh my goodness, we just unlocked torpedo protection too. Well, that's fantastic. And we're also very close to unlocking a new anti-submarine technology. That is also very good news. Alright. And we just unlocked another Comus class, or 3 of them actually. So we'll grab those and we will put them on foreign station. And that means we only have 3 more ships to rebuild after this. Alright, rebuild's begun. All of these ships are pretty well set. We only have 3 more. Outstanding. And we will be able to meet that next turn. So, let's move on to the next turn. Oh good, we're well on our way to understanding our next fleet technology, fleet tactics. I'm so glad we unlocked mine rails. That's very, very helpful. But having that fleet cruising formation as well, that's also pretty nice. Alright, we need to take 3 ships and put those on foreign station. And then we can take these 3, and we'll begin rebuilding those. Alright, and then we have 2 more ships, or 3 more ships that we can place on foreign station. Yeah, these... Oh, wait, hold on. It's 4 of them. Okay. So we've got 4 ships that we can place on foreign station. Let's start taking some of these other ships back home. So we've got all of these. We're going to put them on active fleet. And I'm going to start telling these 2 to go home. There we go. Northern Europe. Alright, so they will arrive next turn. And we'll start telling these ones to move home as well. There you go, and that guy's already active fleet, so he's not going to stay. He's going to stay right there until it's time to properly replace him. Outstanding. All right. Well, nothing to it. On to our next turn. We're already starting to see results in our torpedo development. Good. We've got the ships, now we need the torpedoes to deliver with them. Alright, we're a little bit short on our foreign station tonnage, as expected from recalling 2 ships. So we'll take those Comus classes that we had and we will put those on foreign station. Alright, that meets our foreign station requirements. Alright, and it is January 1912, so it is time to start thinking about another round of construction. And what we're going to build, I'm not entirely sure. So we've had some construction time shortening on our protected cruise, or on our new light cruisers. We could certainly use a few more of those. Let's check the design for right now. See if there's any significant changes we could make. And I'm not really seeing anything here. There's only 22 tons of weight savings. Yeah, nothing significant that we can do here. So we'll just stick with the Proserpine design. What about capital ships? Battle cruisers, incomparable class. Again, no significant savings there. And then we also have the Goliath class. And again, still no significant savings. So we'll just leave those as is. And in probably another 6 months or so, we can order another capital ship. Or some more light cruisers, either way. Actually, we probably will just order some new light cruisers. So we're going to take those, Proserpine. A Pactolus. Whatever that is. It's probably another one of those random Greek names, like all of these cruisers so far. Alright, so we'll lay down another one of those. In another few months, we might end up laying down another. And I'll put those on foreign station. Alright, and now that we're getting ships back home, we can start putting these on... What the? What are you still doing? Active fleet, move ship, Northern Europe. Go home. Alright, and we can take the ships that are currently in Northern Europe, and we can put those on reserve and save a lot of money. And we'll take this North American East Coast ship home as well. Alright. And of course the Prime Minister is instantly displeased with the lack of ships on foreign stations, even though we haven't had any sort of warnings about it. And let's take a look at this Constitution class. Ooh, that is an interesting ship. Very heavy gun armament with 8 14-inch guns, but their armor is only 7.5 inches, so very light on the armor. And there it is. There's our fleet cruising formation in parallel columns. So that's good for cruising. And apparently the Americans have invented a double torpedo mount. Something that our scientists are struggling with mightily. Imagine that. Taking one torpedo tube and then putting another one next to it. Very difficult concept to figure out. Can't imagine that. Alright, let's see. So we've got more ships coming back home. Do we have any more ships available for foreign station? Not right now. And we still have ships cruising home, so they're in those ships. This one is 2 turns out. This one is 3 turns out. Yeah, I'm going to have to take one of these ships and put it back on foreign station for right now. So we'll put that on foreign station to meet our requirements, and we will park it on the east coast. Alright, let's move on to our next turn. Ooh, quality steel for shells. A gradual increase in high explosive shell damage. Could always benefit from that. Alright. So we have this Proserpine class cruiser out. I'm going to throw that in reserve fleet. And now that we have these remaining Comus class complete, we can take all of those, throw them on foreign station. And we can take that East Coast ship. I'll park that on active fleet for now. Let's see, how long until the last Comuses are done? One more turn? Yeah, one more turn and then we can put everything back to a piece. We'll reserve all the ships that are in Northern Europe, so that's done. And we're all set. Let's move on to our next turn. Alright, so we're still unlocking fire control technologies, but we still have not gotten director firing yet, and that is significant. We do need that director firing as soon as possible, so we're going to maintain that as high as we can. Alright, and now that we've got the Comus class complete, we can plop these guys back on foreign station, and we can take all of our ships back home. Alright. And one more turn. Increased industrialization improves national resources. Hooray, more budget. That's always good. And Italy wants to buy small tube boilers. Sounds good to me. If they want to pay for my naval construction, I will accept. Alrighty. Let's see, we can probably take these two ships and put them on reserve fleet. And I will bet we can take that. Let's see, so these destroyers can go down to mothballs, along with all the other destroyers. And this one random corvette, we can bring that one back home. Alright, and how's everything looking up among our capital ships? Looks good. In fact, now that we've completed additional ships, we can probably start putting some of these Ansons back in mothballs. So we'll mothball... In fact, we'll put all of them in mothballs, and then we'll reserve fleet until we can advance to the next turn. Yep, there we go. That's more than half the fleet tonnage. So we'll reserve that. Still no. There we go. Oh, a spy from Japan has been discovered. This early? Unusual. Well, budget is always good. Let's check the almanac. So Japan does have a fair number of dreadnoughts. Their pre-dreadnought supply is very small, though. Their armored cruiser supply is relatively light. So we could just cruise on over to their home and stomp on it, but their penchant for sneak attacks has never been good. So let's try and minimize this. We'll handle things quietly and discreetly. Alright, our scientists are happy to report that they are close to mastering double torpedo tube mount. And we've also unlocked ASW mines. So that's good. Hopefully all these mines fields that we're able to deploy from our destroyers and cruisers now can also affect our ASW capability. Alright, we're going to reserve fleet that. We're going to mothball that. Alright, and our Jed class destroyers are starting to go obsolete, so it's time to look into refitting those. Also, we have sufficient budget to buy some more ships. So I think we're going to lay down another ship of the Goliath class. There we go, that's a good name for a battleship. It's a Hannibal. Alright, we'll take that. And let's see. Can we afford another incomparable class? Nope, can't quite. So we're going to have to wait until the first incomparable finishes before we look into buying something else. And we do need to refit the Jed class. So we're going to take all of those. We're going to open this design for rebuild. And hey, now that we have unlocked twin torpedoes, let's see about doing that. So we're going to clear that off. And we're going to add... we're going to do a... Oh no, so I can't add torpedo tubes during a refit. That is unfortunate. So in that case, we're going to cancel this. And we're just going to do a quick in and out refit. Yeah, I can't do anything for fire control. Not much reason to swap around secondary guns. So we'll just throw on 6 mines. We'll call that good. Alright, and we'll throw those in for refit. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at all those destroyers. And it is time to order another cruiser. So we've got 2 Proserpines, and we're going to order, we've got a 3rd one under construction, we're going to order 1 more. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Build ship. Alright. 1 more. The Dido. Alright, we'll take it. Alright, quick review here. It'll be 2 more months until the first Goliath is complete. Once that's done, then I will order another incomparable class battle cruiser. That should help round out the fleet quite nicely. At some point, I'm going to need to incorporate that torpedo defense 2 into these ships, but not until we get some additional improvements as well. Alright, next turn. So Japan is interested in funding our development. I'd rather they pay for it than steal it, so by all means. Alright, we got 1 more turn until our dock size development is complete. 1 more turn until the Goliath comes out of the yards. Outstanding. 1 more turn. New docks completed. Goliath is commissioned. And Italy wants to buy some fire control technology. Sounds good to me. By all means. Oh, how fascinating. French scientists have invented triple turrets. I don't know if that's a properly British thing to do. Put 3 guns in a single turret? It wouldn't be properly symmetrical. How could we deal with that? I have no idea what our gunners would do. They'd be mighty confused. Alright, for now though, we'll take the Goliath and we'll put that on reserve fleet due to our low tensions. And I said it was time to build up our dock size, and I also said I was going to order another battlecruiser, so let's do that. Alright. And next up we have the Inflexible. An outstanding name. Alright, we'll take it. The Inflexible. Seems to be a very common trend among names for these battle cruisers. They all start with an I and they end with Ibble. Well, that's as good as naming convention as any. Alright. Well, with that in mind, let's finish out the year. There's August. Ooh, the Nancy class. Well, that's interesting. So, French battlecruiser Nancy they do have 4 centerline turrets, so that's pretty nice. And they're up to 14-inch guns. And again, very light armor belt. It is picking up. It's up to 8.5 inches armor, but still very light on the protection there. Aha! And now we have unlocked the double torpedo mount. So just out of curiosity, was the reason I couldn't add double torpedoes before because I hadn't researched it? Yeah, that's all it was. So I refit these things just a little bit too early. Oh well. Just out of curiosity, would that be enough for me to add on a Y turret? No, not quite. Well, that is a nice looking ship. Maybe next time. For now, we'll stick with what we got. Alright, so we've got 3 incomparable class under construction, 1 about to come out in a few more months. And our dreadnoughts are chugging right along. Alright, Japan is interested in buying fire control developments. Like I said before, I'd rather they pay for it than steal it, so by all means. Alright, we've had some developments in submarine technology, so maybe it's time to build a couple more submarines. We'll knock out a couple more. There we go. Looks good to me. And then we had a whole bunch of destroyers finish their refits, so let's throw those back in mothballs and save a little bit of money. There we go. All taken care of. Now we've unlocked secondary turrets on battleships. That may actually be worth a refit. Either a refit or a new design. Let's take a quick look. So if we were to take these Goliaths, so we do have some weight savings there. If we bump those up to twin turrets, well, that's a little bit of weight saving. Is that enough to get torpedo defense too? Yes, it is. Well, that sounds like a very effective refit then, or a very effective redesign. So, I think that'll be our next battleship. Alright, we've already done A through G. So our next name... Alright, so a quick review of the ship list revealed the fantastic name Hercules. That's a properly heroic name for an impressive battleship like this. So I think that's what we're going to call this ship. Let's see if there's any other significant changes we can do. Can I go up to 16-inch guns? Oh no, not at that. That's over 1,000 tons of weight right there. I can't do that. Let's check our gun data performance. Alright. We're getting some fantastic penetration there. We need better armor belt if possible. Should I try bumping up the size? Let's see, what would it take to get proper defense here? So if I got up to a 14-inch belt, that would make a difference. Well, that's another 1,000 tons right there. Let's see if I could do a 14-inch belt and 16-inch guns. So I could do, let's see, at 41,000 tons, I could have 16 secondaries. That's pretty good. Yeah, all things considered, that's a pretty solid design right there. Very expensive. To be expected. But yeah, that's a pretty nice design. And those 16-inch guns, maximum range 21, almost 22,000. How does that compare to the 15-inch guns? Yeah. We'll take the 16-inch guns. I know it's more expensive, but hey, every little bit counts. Extra torpedo defense, extra armor. Yeah, this is a pretty solid design right here. Alright, so we'll take this and we'll call it the Hercules. Alright, so rate of fire for secondary guns reduced by 40% due to lack of suitable training and elevation gear. So, slow rate of fire on the secondaries. That's not great, but over time we will develop improved mountings for that, and those issues will be fixed. I'd rather have the weight savings from twin turrets. Alright, so we'll start developing that, and that will be our next ship to build. As soon as the incomparable is complete. Alright, let's move on to our next turn. Alright, we are asked in an interview which nation I see as the most likely enemy in a future war. What is our answer? Well, we could be prepared to fight a war against any opponent, which is general budget intention. I don't see any risk of war in the near future, which is not helpful in any way, shape, or form. Less budget, less tension, all the things that I don't want. Or I could pick a specific opponent. Well, I specifically want to go to war against Russia. So I'm going to say that Russia is our primary rival right now. It is without a doubt Russia. Hey, gradual improvement of armor quality and 1% weight savings from quality control 2. And we just unlocked triple turrets. Oh my, I think we're going to have to redesign that Hercules. Because that is pretty significant right there. Alright. We also need to start looking into some refits. I know we've got improved secondaries. Let's see, actually real quick, let's double check what guns we've got. So we've got Quality 0 12-inch guns, so nothing significant there. Quality 0 10-inch guns, that does require a refit to install. Quality 0 6-inch guns, that also requires a refit to install. I'm still going to try and hold off on that just a little bit longer. See if we can avoid that expense too early, because I still am holding out hope for director fire. Alright, the Incomparable is commissioned. I've suffered a temporary setback in figuring out improved face hardening. That's okay. As long as I can incorporate some improvements into the Hercules, I will be happy. Alright, and we get to look at the Ranger class again. Once again, no significant changes there. And then, ooh, we get a look at the German ship Koenig. Ooh. So this is the best that Germany has right now. 1912 design. 29,000 tons, 21 knots, so it's fast. 14 inches of belt armor, very well protected. And 13-inch guns. So somewhat weak on the gunnery side of things. Alright. Well, nothing too significant there. We're going to take this Incomparable. We're going to put that in reserve. Save every little bit of budget we can. Because I expect this next generation of battleship is going to be very expensive. Oh! And we have stolen some improved 14-inch guns. And we've gotten improved SAP ammo, so that's always good. And we've got improved damage control. All that stuff needs to be incorporated into the new design battleship. Ugh, and the French are stealing from us again? How dare they? We should send a diplomatic note in the strongest possible language. Alright, latest design Hercules is ready for construction. We definitely have some design reworks we need to do. So first things first, we have some weight savings due to the design changes. But second of all, we've also unlocked triple turrets. So we're going to have to see if we can incorporate those. Alright, so we're going to I don't want to clear all turrets. We're just going to delete a single turret. And then we can up the guns and all these other places. Alright. And, well, that was not quite enough to save everything. So we are slightly heavier because we do have one more gun total than we had before. We're up to 9 guns as opposed to 8. But with these new 16-inch guns, they fire a lot slower than smaller caliber stuff, so I should be okay with less ammunition. 110 rounds seems enough. We'll call that good. So let's save that. and we will develop that. And it'll have to be a completely fresh development, since we're basically starting from scratch. With a completely rearranged turret design. Yeah, that's pretty significant there. I do think it's time to build another cruiser. So we'll take one more Proserpine class. The Perseus. Sounds good to me. We'll do a quick review. Do we have any ships with 14-inch guns? Yes, we do. We've got 1, 2, 3 ships with 14-inch guns. Alright, what caliber did we get? Quality 1 14-inch guns. Oh, wow. That is significant. Maybe it is time to refit some of these ships. Let's see what we can do with the Emperor of India. So we still do not have director fire, which is annoying. But if we upgrade to quality 1 14-inch guns, that'll be 6 months at $1 million apiece. We also have some... although this ship already has the improved 6-inch guns, so nothing significant to do there. It'd just be upgrading the 14-inch guns. No, I think... let's see, is it worth it? The other question, can I swap out for twin turrets? When rebuilding ships, you can only install secondary guns of 6-inch caliber, but only in single mounts. So I cannot be refitting twin turrets. So I'm going to leave those in casemates. Alright, once again, I'm still waiting for director fire, so I'm going to hold off on that refit. Even the formidable class, while they would benefit from the gun swap out, they still need director firing. So let's take a quick review of the research one more time, see if we can concentrate research on particular topics. Alright, so we've done pretty good as far as explosive shells go. I'm going to bop that down to low. And is there anything else we can do? Yeah, we still need that fire control. That's such a big thing. We're still trying to push our torpedo technology up because we're still behind in that particular category. And fleet tactics. Amazingly enough, we're still behind in fleet tactics as well, so we still need all of those on high. Alright, well, we will leave that as is. And we'll continue pushing those technologies forward. And we have 4 months until the Hercules is ready, at which point the last incomparable will be out, so I should be able to afford 2 Hercules class. Outstanding. Alright, so we get a look at the Georgia class. So this is the latest American battleship design. Again, very heavy armor. They're definitely placing a lot more emphasis on protection than me. They're going with 14-inch belt as opposed to the 12-inch belt that I'm usually using. And we have another weight savings. We've got an improvement in AP projectiles. Ooh, enhances damage from penetrating hits. I like the sound of that. We're still having difficulty with these fleet tactics developments. Oh, and we have promising results from the new research area, amphibious operations. Well, that's nice. Well, that said, even with amphibious operations, there's not a whole lot of research going on there until 1915 is when the first technology is expected. We still got 2 years to go for that, so I'm going to hold off on any major expenditures on that research. Turn that down to low. Let's move on to our next turn. Oh, outstanding. Our scientists are happy to report they are close to mastering director firing. Okay. Alright, one more turn. French BC Ruin. Yeah, we've seen this thing before. Slightly heavier guns, very light armor belt. And there it is, director firing unlocked. Alright, I think we're going to do one more round of redesign on the Hercules to incorporate director firing, but for now, let's start on refitting all of our capital ships. Alright, so first things first, we need to take our older ships that need new guns. So we'll start off with the dreadnoughts. So we'll open that design for rebuild. We need to upgrade to director firing, and we need to put some new 6-inch guns in there. Alright, that looks good. So we'll save that design, and we'll commence the rebuild. So we'll rebuild those. Let's see what else we can rebuild. I don't think I'm going to refit the ensigns. Those will not benefit from it significantly. But we can also start swapping out the 14-inch guns on our Formidables and the Emperor of India. So let's take those. They already have good 6-inch guns, but we will upgrade to improved 14-inch guns. We'll swap that out for director firing. Alright, looks good. Go to the rebuild dialog and we'll commence rebuilding. Alright, and then we'll do the same thing for the Emperor of India. Swap out to more powerful guns. And upgrade to director firing. Alright, so we'll take that. And then we'll take these camper downs. Actually, I think I'm going to hold off on the camper downs for just a little bit. And then we also need to start working on our battle cruisers. So we'll start with the Indefatigable. So this one already has good 12-inch guns, but it could benefit from new secondary guns. So we'll upgrade that. And we'll install director firing as well. Alright. And let's see about the Indefatigable. This one already has the improved 6-inch guns. Already got good 12-inch guns, so all we need to do is slap on some director firing. And since we don't quite have the tonnage, right down there, we're 10 tons over, we'll just drop off some of these tertiary guns. And there we go, we can see the benefit of having lots of tertiary guns. Free usage displacement. Shave a few off as they start losing their effectiveness, and get longer range guns. Alright. Let's see, what else needs refit? Ah yes, the hood most definitely needs a rebuild. So we'll take that, we will upgrade to more powerful 10-inch guns. We'll slap in some director firing, and we'll upgrade our 6-inch guns as well. And let's see, should we ditch the torpedoes? I don't think so. We'll keep them on for now. We will accept that, and we will begin a rebuild. Whew, this is going to be expensive. Alright, so that is our refits for now. Let's move on to our next turn. Of course the Prime Minister would be upset by having ships in refit. Alright, let's start undoing some of these Anson class. Reserve fleet. Nope. Reserve fleet. Nope. Reserve fleet. Nope. Reserve fleet. Still no. Still no. Oh, there we go. Alright, Russia is interested in buying stereoscopic rangefinder. Sounds good to me. I accept. I appreciate when Russia pays for my naval construction. And we're going to do a minor refit to the Hercules design, incorporating director. And we still have a little bit of weight remaining. Let's see what we can use that up with. Can we throw on some extra secondaries? Nope. Well, actually, there we go. Call that good. So we get more secondaries, slightly fewer tertiaries, and director firing. Sounds good to me. Alright, we'll move on to our next turn. New docks completed. Germany wants to buy director firing. Should I allow it or not? Once they have that, they can sell it on to other nations, and other nations can steal it from them as well. So, I don't know. Almost any other technology I would be allowing. But director firing, I think that's one thing that I am going to hold off on. I know they don't have director firing. I think we're probably the first to research that. So yes, I think this sensitive technology should not be sold to a potential enemy. Sorry, Germany. You're not getting your hands on it this time. Alright, our design Hercules is ready for construction. Yeah, let's go and build. Alright, so we're going to lay down one ship of the Hercules class. And as we start finishing refits, we can start ordering another one. Alright, speaking of refits though, we just had a incomparable class finish up. So let's take both of those. And let's immediately install director firing. Alright, and we don't quite have the weight remaining for that, so we're going to have to drop off a little bit of tertiary gun there. There we go. And we're all good to go. So we'll save that. We'll start those two ships under construction. Alright. And it's time to build up our dock size again. There we go. All of our ships here are looking good. We've got plenty of destroyers. Could probably use a few more cruisers. Let's put that one in reserve. Alright, and next turn. And of course, the Prime Minister is unhappy with the number of ships. Again. Alright, we'll take another one into reserve. And France is interested in buying superimposed B turret. Now that is a technology I am willing to sell. And our scientists have suffered a temporary setback in figuring out all or nothing armor. Well, that is unfortunate. And then Germany probably stole that technology from France. But they now have superimposed B turret as well. Alright, well, next turn. Indefatigable, Invincible, Caesar, Renown, Majestic, Dreadnought. All these ships have finished development. Alright, so Italy is interested in buying rights to director firing for a much higher price, almost 8 million. Italy is one of those nations that is not actually a serious threat just because they don't have the budget to be. And they also don't have any they also don't really have any territories and places that I care about. So I think I will actually allow them to buy director firing. I know that may seem hypocritical when I just told the Germans to buzz off, but Germany is actually a serious technical rival. Italy is not, so I have no problem with them having that. Alright, we have a whole bunch of ships that need to go back to reserve. And we'll see about putting some of these pre-dreads in reserve now that we have 4 25,000-ton ships out. I think we could take all of these 16,000-ton ships back to reserve, or back to mothball. There we go. Put those away. In fact, it might actually be time to get rid of these things. They don't cost a whole lot, but with the extended ranges, director firing promotes, and all that other stuff, it very well may be time. So if I am going to do that, I either need to do it now or immediately after the next war. And I don't see war on the horizon anytime soon. Let's see how much they're costing me. Alright, so they're costing me a little, almost 600,000. So that's not great in terms of maintenance. That's roughly the maintenance of 2 battle cruisers or 2 dreadnoughts, maybe 3. Well, yeah, 2 dreadnoughts. So yeah, 2 dreadnoughts or 13 pre-dreadnoughts. Yeah, there's not much choice there. The dreadnoughts are much more useful. So I am going to scrap these pre-dreads. It's time to let them go. Farewell, you battleships. You have served well. But it is time to pass along, for you are hopelessly obsolete, and I'm not willing to pay to modernize you. Alright. Now these armored cruisers, on the other hand, are they still useful too? I'm not actually entirely sure about that. What ships do other nations have? They still do have a fair number of armored cruisers. So that is still very much a thing. But are they worth modernizing? No, I don't think so. These ships are still only truly useful for garrison and coastal patrol purposes. And for that, they're not bad. So I will keep them around. But truly, they are only really useful for filling out the tonnage and helping enforce blockades. So I do not intend to do any extensive modernizations on them. Speaking of modernizations, though, it is time to modernize these semi-dreadnoughts, which are still fantastically useful. So let's see. No changes to our secondary guns, no changes to our primary guns. All we really need is director firing. That'll probably be the last refit that these ships see. So we'll slap on director firing on these. Should be a nice, cheap, short refit. We'll call that good. Alright. Anything else? Anything else? I do think it's time to order another Hercules class. So we'll lay down another one of those. HMS Revenge. We'll take it. Alright. And with that, we're almost up to an hour. I think we're going to call this episode to a close. Until next time, Katori87, signing out.